Hey, crypto family. So, the first article we're going to talk about today is regarding Amazon and its potential impacts if it enters the market. So, in here, it says Binance boss thinks Amazon is the catalyst for the next bull market. So, Binance CEO CZ, he's a big influencer in the crypto market. He has a huge Twitter account. And sometimes, when he tweets out coins or any ideas, a lot of people jump on board. So it says one such crypto enthusiast who believes in another bull run is Changpeng Zhao, the CEO of crypto exchange giant Binance. CZ clearly believes in crypto and an impending bull run as he runs the world's largest crypto exchange by trading volume and is launching Binance Chain, which is the company's proprietary blockchain to host millions of coins, thousands of blockchains, and its first product, a decentralized exchange. So you already see Binance is really trying to open up the crypto space to a lot of mainstream people and cater to the big investors. So in his tweet, he says, "What do you think will be the trigger for the next bull run?" Parentheses, I get asked this question often, and honestly, I don't know the answer other than keep building. So below, someone actually asks him, it says, these thoughts of his came to light when he took to Twitter, asking his followers what they think the trigger will be for the next bull run. His followers had a lot to say, one of which, Crypto Guy, joked that CZ could lead a bull run simply by buying up loads of Bitcoin. So when he said that, CZ replied to him and he said that he couldn't, but Amazon's Jeff Bezos could, following up by saying, waiting for the day Amazon accepts or issues crypto. So of course, this caused a lot of commotion and brings up, the topic again of when is Amazon going to accept Bitcoin? So we already know a lot of big online retailers have accepted Bitcoin, such as Overstock, Newegg, and a couple others. So it's only a matter of time before Amazon accepts it. Now, whatever they're waiting for is anyone's guess, but I do believe if they start accepting Bitcoin, it'll add some more legitimacy to the space and have a lot more eyes look on it. So I'm excited to see what happens in the future with this. But again, it's just something that's always good if you can cause some talk and some hype around issues like this and, maybe potentially have Amazon accept it sooner, because if more people are asking about it, maybe that puts some extra pressure. But just something to keep in mind. And again, a lot of these different CEOs will make comments like this. So again, it just keeps the discussion around crypto and hopefully gets that mainstream adoption come that much sooner. Now, the second article I want to talk about isn't as positive. It says crypto VC funding deals are falling apart due to bear market, bad time for startups. So this is more on the investor side of cryptocurrencies. So a lot of VC startups, basically, as are venture capitalist startups, and they usually have a funding round. So, a lot of people will invest millions of dollars into this funding round. And then once the company comes to light and their product sees use, then, those venture capitalists will see some of that profit and will get paid back their investment and then some. So here it says, quote, we've seen half a dozen fundraising deals fall apart over the past month after the lead pulled out. All is not well in crypto VC investor land. Good time to remind founders that a signed term sheet does not equal cash in the bank. So this was Silbert, who oversees the operations of one of the largest venture capital firms in crypto, with investments in Coinbase, Bitflyer, Blockchain, Chain Analysis, Coins, ErisX, Etherscan, Kraken, Ledger, Ripple, and many more. So this is a guy who's invested in a lot of the top crypto companies. And for him to say that, there's a lot of fundraising deals that have fallen apart, that's not necessarily good for the crypto space, but it does kind of cater to the fact that we could be in that capitulation mode in the market cycle. So one of the things I want to touch on real quick is you've probably seen this graph around a lot over the past couple of months. And basically it's just the market cycle. And it says, first you have the takeoff, first sell-off, which is a bear trap, media attention, enthusiasm, greed, delusion, new paradigm, denial, return to normal, and then fear, capitulation, despair, and a return to the mean. So if you look at this graph right here, it actually looks a lot like Bitcoin. So if you go on the weekly here, you can see Bitcoin had that first run up. It faked out when it got to 5,000 with the bear sell-off. And then from there, it continued to get up to 20,000. And from there, this capitulation period that we have right here has actually been a drawn out bear market. So again, I do believe we are still in that capitulation phase, more towards the beginning of it. But I do believe, we'll hit despair once we get down to 2,500, 2,000, maybe even 1,500 or lower. So I do believe we may end up going there and, just be ready for anything. But that just goes to show, there's a lot of emotions that go on in the market cycle, and just always keep that in mind. So, investors are pulling out, everyone's not seeing the light. Then I do believe that is good in the sense that, we are that much closer to returning to the mean, which I believe, if you follow this chart here, I do believe is around that $5,000 to $6,000 mark, and then we'll continue the run up from there. But until then, who knows how long this bear cycle or this bear trend will continue, but I'm expecting maybe till the middle to end of next year. So again, we'll have to see what happens with that. But continuing on to this article, it talks about some, venture capital firms habitually headed to the exits once the industry started to dwindle, and just a lot of people have lost confidence in it. But it also mentions that in the past 2 to 3 months, some firms have made several high-profile multi-million-dollar investments in crypto startups that are strengthening the infrastructure around Bitcoin. So you have Nasdaq and Fidelity that are engaged in a $27.5 million funding round to finance ErisX, which is a crypto exchange and a strictly regulated futures market based in the US. And then also, with both of these companies invested in this crypto exchange, that adds some legitimacy. And also, it offers available to both institutional and individual participants. Closing the second round of funding enables us to continue building our modern platform and expand our team. So you got to think, when these big companies are still investing, then they do see an opportunity. And it's just, if you watch DaVinci J15, he actually mentions, buying a little bit of Bitcoin every week, kind of averaging in. And that way, you do have some exposure to it, but you aren't overexposed. And again, that's not financial advice, just my opinion, but you never know when the bottom is going to hit, but just having a little bit every week, is a good way to stay safe and protect your capital. Now, with that, then basically saying build it while it's down. And then while the bear market's taking a toll on all participants, that it suggests that the drop in crypto may correlate with the change in the global venture capital trend. So we may see more investors pulling out of the market, but again, just use that as an opportunity and to really get in at the cheap prices. Now with that, looking at the market here, so you have Bitcoin down 1.32% to 32.63, Ripple's down 3% to 29 cents, Ethereum's down 1.9% to $85, Stellar's down 6% to 9.8 cents, and then you have Tether staying at $1. Now, some notable coins are Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin SV. You see they've been tanking, down 9.5% and 12% respectively. So again, looks like these two coins from the hard fork are still continuing their losses that they've had. Bitcoin SV was holding up, but now it's starting to actually underperform Bitcoin Cash, which is not a good sign if you're holding it. Just keep that in mind, and also setting your stops with that. Now, looking at Bitcoin here, let's go to the 4-hour chart. Now, if you remember, I drew this demand zone here, and this is between 3,000 to 3,100. So looking at this demand zone, Bitcoin actually broke down into it to a low of 31.34. Now, luckily it bounced above and is maintaining above that at 32.15. Now, I mentioned, if we do break this $3,000 level, that is not good, and we could potentially go down to 2,500 after that. So as long as we maintain at least within or above this demand zone, then I do believe that there is still a possibility that we can, continue to the upside and then potentially test this 50-day moving average at about 3,400. And then from there, hit that resistance of 36 and break through that to 4,000. So we'll just have to keep an eye on this and see what happens. But, the RSI is still way oversold, so plenty of room to the upside. So with that, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, comment if y'all have any questions, or if you like the video, and then also subscribe if you haven't. I really appreciate it, and it helps the channel grow. With that, till next time, thanks for watching.